There's always a call for peace and kindness among all as we promote our island home as that place of choice to live. Good day and welcome to yet another edition of Jamaica Magazine. I'm Theodore Henry. We open today's show with the traditional peacekeepers of our society. We'll also provide you with other ways our government is working to make Jamaica safe for all. Today we're unfolding information that you certainly wouldn't want to miss out on, so do stay with us.
Mommy,
Yes, sweetie?
how can I change my world?
You can change your world with just one word,
Thank you, Miss.
one action.
We can change the world with acts of random kindness.
Stay kind, act kind, be kind.
Justices of the peace are important figures in societies. Besides signing our important documents, how much do we really know about their roles and how they were even appointed to begin with? Watch now as a Justice of the Peace shares the roles of the traditional peacekeepers of our society.
When you offer your service across Jamaica, it is absolutely important for you to be fair-minded. Ensure that fair play at all times is displayed, a person dispensing justice, ensuring that peace is maintained across Jamaica. To assist in solving the many problems that we are encountering in Jamaica.
We see them all over the country. We know their names. We employ their services for signing important documents, among other things. But do we know the extent of their functions, or how one even becomes a Justice of the Peace? Come, watch as we open the gates to the historical peacekeepers of our nation.
I'm appointed through the Ministry of Justice, and as a JP, you have to be very, very confidential. So people can come to you and they can confide in you with whatever, and you can be that person that they can talk to. You have to be a person of integrity, a person who is an unquestionable background.
You're joining a vocation that has been in existence and started from the 12th century. From 1195, the king, known as King the Lion-Hearted, said to the knights, we need distinguished persons to operate in boroughs, communities, right across England. So find some persons who can keep the peace. Some from 1195, over 800 years ago. Persons who were appointed were known as keepers of the peace. It was only in the 14th century that the term Justice of the Peace became the JP that you are now.
Ministry of Justice call us peacekeeper, and people do call us peacekeeper because we do keep the peace. Some of our duties that I perform, I witness documents for people, I do recommendations for some of the youths who want a job. I also do recommendations for persons who want to be surety to bail another person. So there are multiple things that I do as a Justice of the Peace.
The role of a JP is a voluntary one. So these officers are not to accept cash or any form of reward for the work done in their capacity as JPs.
It's something that you will do out of your heart. You have to do it as a person. You have to do it as a Jamaican. You have to love your country. And I believe that we have to stop asking the question what our country can do for us and to want to help to change our country, to change the justice system.
From there, the steps to become a Justice of the Peace are fairly simple. You must be a Jamaican citizen residing in the country during the time of appointment. You must be able to read and speak English fluently. You must be able to communicate and interact at all levels with all types of people. You must be a person of undeniable integrity who commands the respect of the local community. And you must be a person who has offered voluntary service to the community and the country by extension, while indicating the potential for continued service. But always remember, as a JP, you're offering a very valuable service to your country.
It's a fulfilling job, but it's also a tiring one. So I want to say to fellow justice of the peace out there, please, do it for the love. As what they say, do it for the love, not for the likes. You understand me? Make sure you're doing your job correctly. You signed up for a position to help people, help people.
My name is Nikisha Lindsay. I'm the Director of Community Services at the National Youth Service. In total, we engaged a little over 100 young persons.
The NYS team really embraced this new initiative. It's new in that they never did this before. And we talk about it as a charity thing before, but for them now they get empowerment as actually giving skills and opportunities to young persons with disabilities.
We have been privileged to go through this experience with all of these young persons. It has been both a learning experience for us, the staff at the NYS, as well as the young persons. We saw the young persons developing their own personal and professional skills, but for us it was a real learning experience. We got to really understand some of the challenges that a person with intellectual disability would face on a regular basis.
Thank you for the National Youth Service for helping us to get a job for us that we can just hold it and just continue working.
Thank you, parents.
And we can talk with parents too also.
The National Youth Service, empowering Jamaica's young people.
So, you know how we're always being encouraged to solve disputes in the most non-violent way possible and foster positive emotions to promote productivity? Well, you might not have gotten a clear idea on how to do so. We now bring you words from the Dispute Resolution Foundation.
This sort of conflict is unhealthy for productivity in the workplace. You guys can't continue like this.
And she come in the morning and I'm trying to show her, she just acts like idiot.
Alright, so hear what? I have a video from the Dispute Resolution Foundation that I think you guys need to watch. Come with me.
Conflict is at its most fundamental, a disagreement. Workplace conflict has a number of significant impacts. There's a cost to conflict at the workplace. So someone seeing a dispute between two employees or between employees and the employer being played out in public might be inconvenienced by what is happening, but they're unaware of what's the cost. There are all kinds of costs, from personal costs, health costs, reputational costs, to financial costs. So conflict can impact somebody at the workplace. It can impact the production and productivity of the business. If you think of it, any workplace could find that between a supervisor or just between two employees, there could be an unresolved conflict and it affects how they work. So if we have to work in a way that says your work is affecting mine and vice versa, and we're not getting along, then over time what will happen is that we tend not to be very productive because we're not communicating with each other, we're not responding, we're not engaged. So it affects the organization's relationship internally, it affects the dynamics of that, it affects productivity, it affects communication, it affects a number of things. So simple things like management decisions may be impacted by conflict at the workplace.
Mediation is very, very important in order to solve conflicts like these and to ensure that we have productivity.
Conflict resolution is a very broad term used to describe different approaches to try and manage conflict when conflict occurs. So mediation is just one of those processes, a very structured process in which a neutral third party who is trained helps disputing parties to come to a resolution of their dispute. Now, at the workplace, that will be helping them to negotiate. So they may be unable to negotiate by themselves, so they may get somebody who is external to each of them to help them to resolve that dispute, and that person would play the role of a mediator.
So guys, this is where I come in, to sit with you both and to discuss the issue further. But before we get to the meat of the matter, there is just one more point to note.
Now, in order to do that, the mediator has to have some very effective communication skills. So how does the mediator communicate? And communicate in a way that includes both verbal and non-verbal, but at the same time interpreting what is it that the verbal and non-verbal cues that are coming from the parties. What are those cues saying? So the mediator has to be very effective at communication. Now, helping the parties to communicate may be a part of the communication, the larger communication skills of the mediator. However, at a particular point in time, mediator has to help the parties to negotiate. So the mediator has to be au fait with what negotiation is about, how are the parties negotiating, and help them to be able to negotiate in a way that settles the dispute that they have.
Alright, so as you guys can see, conflict, it's nothing new. Today was probably the first for you guys, and it maybe won't be the last. But based on the video that you've just seen, you can now tell the true effect of what conflict can do within the organization. So you see, it's very important for you to practice mediation and proper conflict resolutions. Now, having seen or heard all of that, what really happened today?
My name is Bruce Croxon. I'm the founder of a fund called Round 13 Capital that invests in Canadian technology companies. Well, my ties to Jamaica go way back because my mother's actually from the island. She comes from the parish of St. Mary, and so some of my very earliest memories are of visiting the island. And I think Jamaica is an incredibly special place to visit. It starts with the terrain. I mean, it's physically a beautiful island. I mean, you go from high mountains to some of the most beautiful beaches in the world, and you can get some amazing views, you get some amazing cultures, and you get some amazing greenery the further you get from the sea. What people don't know about Jamaica is that there is an incredible number of side trips and explorations that you can do. There's some incredible adventure to be had, whether that's hiking in the Blue Mountains, or surfing on the North Coast. A lot of people don't associate Jamaica with surf. There's some good surf there. Jamaica is much more than tourist destinations. There's a whole island to be explored, and probably more smiles per capita than any other country I've visited. So I've always felt very welcome there.
Our government is collaborating with JSIF to help make the lives of Jamaicans safer through improved technology. Learn more next.
The Jamaica Social Investment Fund, JSIF, is helping to build safer communities through the Jamaica Crime Observatory Enhancement Project. Established in 2011, the Jamaica Crime Observatory is a web-based crime and violence data bank hosted by the Ministry of National Security.
The project is seeking to enhance the capacity of the Ministry of National Security, the Jamaica Constabulary Force, and a number of other stakeholders in their response to data collection, data entry, data dissemination, and data analysis. This is a World Bank funded initiative. It is valued at 44 million Jamaican dollars.
The upgrade to the system falls under JSIF's Integrated Community Development Project, ICDP. The aim of the ICDP is to improve basic infrastructure and social services delivered to 18 targeted at-risk communities. JSIF seeks to use data from the Crime Observatory to inform the planning of social and technical interventions to be implemented in these communities. To ensure a concerted approach towards crime prevention and management, a number of government entities supply statistics to the Crime Observatory. These include the Jamaica Constabulary Force, the Ministry of Health, the Registrar General's Department, and the Institute of Forensic Science and Legal Medicine.
We collect data from murder statistics to sexual offenses, suicide, traffic fatalities, hospital data, fatal shootings for various parishes in Jamaica.
The Jamaica Constabulary Force, JCF, is the primary source of data for the observatory. Under the project, the Statistics and Information Management Unit of the JCF has received handheld GPS devices to assist in increasing the accuracy of data collected.
From the perspective of the crime scene, the forensic crime scene analysts utilize the handheld devices provided by the Jamaica Social Investment Fund to map the exact location of each crime. The devices are also able to take photographs of the environment within which the crime occurs. With that information, the analysts are able to get a better context within which the crime occurs. And that has been very significant in our analysis process.
In addition, the gadget also assists us to be able to do analysis, temporal analysis of the time crime takes place. If you plot those information on a graph, you can see over a period of time, you can be able to determine trend, so you can do trend analysis.
As part of the JSIF funding, the unit also received laptops, desktop computers, firewall devices, servers, UPS devices, and software packages to improve the efficiency of processing the data collected.
It allows us to provide data to the Crime Observatory in a much faster turnaround time than the monthly cycle that we usually provide the data to the Crime Observatory.
Additionally, 2 data entry clerks have been employed by the unit to assist with the timely input of information into the system. The Ministry of National Security will also receive funding to engage the services of a crime analyst.
What the engagement of the crime analyst will do is that they will help with better forecasting and predicting utilizing data which is in the Crime Observatory.
The project, which started in 2017, will also fund the training of 7 Ministry of National Security staff and 8 persons from the Jamaica Constabulary Force in the areas of system maintenance, spatial analysis, and the use of ArcGIS software technology. Improvements to the Jamaica Crime Observatory are essential to various stakeholders in the formulation of policies and strategies to keep Jamaicans safe.
What the Crime Observatory is able to do is provide us with good, timely, accurate data for us able to craft our policies, and from crafting our policies we're able to then craft acceptable strategies to help with the crime and violence and citizen security.
With geographic information system, we can actually pinpoint the exact location of a crime. We can pinpoint the area, such as a shop or a bar, that is likely to be affected by a particular type of crime, which means that we can practice preventative policing. We can actually preempt what is likely to take place, put in strategy in order to prevent those occurrences.
Through the Jamaica Crime Observatory Enhancement Project, the Jamaica Social Investment Fund is enhancing the efficient collection and analysis of crime and violence statistics, building on the capacity of the government to better plan crime-fighting strategies.
Let's get a little breeze on this land. All right. Now let's get some bounce in the rhythm. All right. Let's get some fire on our hearts. Now that is what we call all right. Run, come, get some Jamaica.
Wine is a tradition and preferred staple in the homes of many Jamaicans. Listen now as one woman tells us about her joy for blending wine.
Welcome to the Joy Spence after this day home experience.
It's absolutely amazing, isn't it?
It is.
I'd like to just take the opportunity to welcome you to this particular discussion. And I know it's over 25 years since you've been in the business, but we want to go back as far as we possibly can to early days. Where did you grow up and what was life like for you? What were your dreams and aspirations?
Well, I grew up in Kingston, although I was born in Manchester, but we moved to Kingston at about age 2. And I attended micro-practicing primary. Then I went to Holy Childhood High School, and that's where I fell in love with chemistry because of my chemistry teacher.
Right.
So I decided that I wanted to become the best chemist there is in the world. And so I pursued a degree in chemistry at the University of the West Indies, where I graduated with a BSc in first class honors. At that point, I thought I probably would be in a research laboratory.
Yes.
But I actually went back to my alma mater and did a stint of teaching in chemistry for the upper school. Then I lectured at the College of Arts, Science and Technology.
No, you take.
No, you take.
Yes.
And decided that I wanted to get some manufacturing experience. So I joined Tia Maria as a research chemist. Then I became very bored because it was a one-product operation.
Yes.
And Gira Navy is right next door to Tia Maria. So in my hours of boredom, I'd look across the fence and I would see tankers rolling in, people looking very busy. And I said, oh, that's a very interesting place to work.
Right.
So I sent in my resume and they invited me over for an interview. They interviewed me and said, well, actually, we do not have a position available, but we were so impressed with your resume. So I left and I said, okay, nothing tried, nothing done.
Nothing done, indeed. Now, this was 1981.
1981.
Good, yes.
So 2 weeks later, they called me and said, we created a position for you, the position of chief chemist. And this is when I fell in love with rum, because I never drank rum before that time. And so I started to work with the previous master blender and became so fascinated with the whole art of blending and sensory analysis. And this is what led me to where I am today.
How were you able to navigate your way through this particular industry that is considered a male-dominated profession?
Well, first of all, I understudied the previous master blender for 17 years.
Yes.
So everyone in the industry knew that I was understudying him. So when he retired, I was appointed master blender. And it was at that point in time when we did our research that we realized that there was no other female in the entire world that was a master blender.
Right.
And I said to myself, I never thought that I would, have accomplished anything as great as this, being the first woman to actually shatter the glass ceiling for other women.
Right. How did that make you feel after being appointed the first female master blender?
I didn't believe it at first, I
Right.
said, I wonder if they had the research right, because I was never ever looking at that when I was working with the previous master blender and understanding him. I just wanted to become the best blender there is.
Right.
And it was very proud to be a Jamaican woman having achieved this.
And so a rare 25-year-old rum, aptly named after you, Joy. Tell us about that and what went into that and how did you feel about having a beverage being named after you?
I selected my favorite 25-year-old pot still rum. So it became the heart and soul of the blend because it had this amazing orange peel, nutmeg and ginger notes. And I combined it with other rums to create this magnificent blend. So overall, this rum now has the amazing orange peel top note intertwined with ginger, nutmeg and spice, finishing with warm vanilla, coffee and cocoa notes with this amazing brown sugar finish. Just absolutely delicious.
But how does it feel to be described as a visionary craftswoman extraordinaire?
It's a humbling feeling,
Yes.
It's a proud feeling, and importantly, I like to, encourage young women who are looking at a profession to think outside the box and to look at how you can apply chemistry in very interesting fields such as the one that I am in.
I know that the words that you've given will no doubt empower so many lives in a profound way. So thank you so much for talking with us.
Thank you for having me on your program.
It's always beautiful in Jamaica. Everything usually be green and pretty. We have beautiful water. Temperature that is normal temperature, the water never cold. We've been into business for about 13 years. JUSC-COOL, just cool. It's spelled with 3 0. We make 3 different types of pudding. We make potato, we make cornmeal, and we make toto. This is the cornmeal, okay? That's actually almost the last process. What he's gonna do now, he's gonna put a gel on top. Within no time, he has to take it off because the gel give it a nice taste. We have people like Shelley and Fraser came here. We have, you could name the biggest artists, Shabba Ranks, name them all. Being the Man, they all come here and buy their pudding. This is what we grew up on. Now, when the people come to Jamaica, everybody, as soon as they land off the plane, this is where they come. They want to taste this pudding because it's bringing them back to the old days. The long time days when they was kids growing up and they used to sit on the fire and watch their mama or their grandmother bake the pudding. We try not to change off our roots, we try to keep it that way. And not only that, we have a lot of love because we're all about love.
So we sat with the Justice of the Peace and we saw what the government was doing to ensure our safety. Now we bring you some tips for keeping safe as you traverse the roadways. Pedestrians, avoid crossing between parked vehicles. Make sure that you establish eye contact with any oncoming drivers to ensure that you have been seen, and keep looking to oncoming traffic before you cross the road. And motorists, always wear that seat belt. Don't drink and drive, observe the road rules, and always look out for pedestrians with whom you share the roadways. All this as we work towards the ultimate goal of making Jamaica that place of choice to live, work, raise families, and do business. As always, we want to thank you for staying with us on Jamaica Magazine. If you missed anything from today's show, you can watch it all again on our website or our YouTube page. And don't forget to keep up with us via our Facebook, Instagram, or Twitter pages. Remember to spread the gift of peace in whatever way you can. On behalf of the entire production team, I'm Theodore Henry. Do take care.
This has been a production of the Jamaica Information Service, the voice of Jamaica.